Right, that was immediately quicker when starting it off. So I'm hoping it's actually better. I've decided to move to hotspot because it actually worked a little bit better when I was doing hotspotting. So let me actually check that's good before I go up because that was so laggy. That was like 2022, 2023 Matt Bressington going through the lag. So we'll check that's good. And then we'll get into the actual thing, right? As I said before, let me do that for a second so I get the list up real quick. Won't be 2 seconds. And I can start getting into it because I had that story prepped and everything, so it should be good. Where are we? 100 predictions. Here we go. So yeah, this one it was some of them. I'll admit softballs. Other ones I'll admit maybe a little bit on the hopeful side that they would actually work out. All right, that looks immediately better. Okay, it's not actually lagging like crazy this time. So happy days. Right, that's fixed now. Lovely stuff. Maybe hotspot is just the way forward for this then because geez, I think I've got like a temporary Wi-Fi box. Can you believe my Wi-Fi is still down? But I got like a temporary box which kind of works okay, but it seems like just doing a hotspot is still consistently the best. Okay. Links up on the story. Stream not crazy laggy. I think we're good to go. Cool. So, as I said before, 100 predictions. I can actually put that back up now. There we go. 100 predictions right here. Put on the 29 weeks ago. So I think it was like, can't remember. It was a while ago. It's 29 weeks ago. Of course, this one was a hard one to make aesthetically pleasing. I did look for a while to try and make it look good, but it just couldn't find a way to make it actually look reasonable. Starting off, currently 0 out of 100 and will remain 0 and 100. Vienna will play Madrid in Championship Game 2025. That one was unfortunately an L. We're not doing half points. We're just doing, did it happen or did it not? We're not giving half points. So Vienna were in the final. They played Stuttgart. I predicted Madrid to be there, not Stuttgart, so I was wrong on that one. But a lot of people were surprised I picked Madrid at the time. And I do talk a little bit about Madrid throughout the actual top 100, but I'm starting off with one. Number 2, Musketeers, Storm, Ravens, and Vikings will win their divisions. Again, if I was allowing myself like sympathy points, I'd be okay because I went 3 for 4. But Surge won the division, Paris did not, and it kind of maybe I'd maybe a little bit like anti-Surge bias, I guess, when it came to this because didn't see them being in the championship game. It didn't see them being top of their division, so that's kind of mad. Wasn't as hot as then as I am now. Number 3, no one will be unbeaten during the regular season. Finally, I have broken my streak of L's with a win here. As you can see, no one in the 2025 ELF season went undefeated. Very close. Munich one loss. Vienna 1 loss. But that's still a point for me. Number 4, Ravens versus Raiders rivalry will be a key playoff storyline again. It definitely was. I think it definitely was. I'm going to give myself one for that because they could be in the playoffs if they beat them. It was early and then a late one. And it was 2 close-ish games. It was a playoff storyline. I wouldn't say it was like the biggest one, but I think it was a valid one. An ELF newcomer quarterback will lead in passing yards. This one for me was a given. I kind of assumed with the Andrew Wandinger offense that Reed Sinnott would lead in passing yards. That was the prediction. He was who I had in mind. Not only that, maybe Jalen could have been in mind, but like it was that one was put out for Reed. to accomplish, and that one did. So that's another one in our bucket. Chad Jeffries will lead in completion among starters. This one I'm not so sure about. It's probably also going to be Reed. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, he was second. I'm not going to give myself a point for it, of course. But the fact he was second, I still think is quite impressive. Because you got Reed at 73% basically, because he was inhumanly accurate. Carl Aiken only played 2 games, and then Chad Jeffries got 66.67. So I'm actually impressed I got pretty close. No cigar, but pretty damn close. I'm happy that I did that one. We have 3 callback changes within the season. Yeah, I kind of low played this one because I knew that we were going to have a few. But honestly, there were not teams that I expected to turn over as much. Obviously, Hamburg had like 3 alone. And then the Galaxy had a change as well. So that was... And then Helvetic had a couple changes. The Raiders had a change. Verherva had a change. So there was a lot. Berlin didn't. Cologne did, of course. But yeah, that was true. But that was kind of one of those ones that was a bit more of a softball question. I can't lie. Helvetic would allow the most sacks. I actually don't think that happened. I think that was... There we go. Sacks total. DJ Irons took the most sacks. No, that's not completely because Helvetic had a couple combined. So Vosav allowed 35 because I don't think anyone played quarterback other than DJ during the year. Same with Prague. So, but Helvetic have 1 here. And then 12 down here. But who did I say again? I said Helvetic, right? I did. So if I have Helvetic with 28. And then Helvetic again there with 12. But then some of McCormack's are from Cologne. Most of them are from Cologne. And then Cologne also had Douglas, who was sacked 21 times in 4 games. Which is insane. And then also Lukla, who was sacked 11 times. And I think most of McCormack, we go into McCormack's numbers. We duplicate that tab. If I go into his numbers, can I see how many times he was sacked individually? Because he didn't spend a ton of time actually at Helvetic. Oh, they got Norwood in there. They don't even have. That's kind of tough. Oh, I can see sacks here now. I'm not sure if it'll be the same. It didn't. I think it was still Cologne. I don't think it was Helvetic. I'm not going to give myself one for that. Because I'm pretty sure it would have been Helvetic, given how many players in that top are Helvetic guys. An established quarterback will lead in interceptions. This one was true. Sullivan was 16. I'm going to be honest. That was kind of what I thought was going to happen. I looked at the Berlin offense. I thought probably going to be Sullivan and Berlin. I'm going to be honest. And he's always been a guy that will push the ball downfield or get a turnover. It kind of just seems to be his style of play. But that one is correct. Where are we at now? There will be at least 5 1,000-yard rushes. I already know this one didn't turn out too well for me. We were close, but we didn't get it all the way. It was kind of unfortunate, right? Because we could have had that many if we didn't have injuries. If Sandro didn't get hurt or if Glenn didn't get hurt, Adam didn't play the last game. Like, we could have had 5, but we only had 3 1,000-yard rushes, which was Justin Rodley, Lucas Hasselvante, and DJ Irons, who achieved 1K mark. Adam was close, didn't play the last one. And then, how many did... Because Kari was also hurt. He appeared in 11, but Kari wasn't in 11. Sile got hurt for a couple, still got 500. And then Plaskoma got... Like, he started off real well. Where is Sandro? Because I know he started off with, like, a 200-yard game and looked really, really hot, but then got hurt. Unfortunately, I think it's his knee, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I mean, shit. He got 47 yards, and then 248 yards, and then 109 yards. So, like, he started off well, didn't play against Cologne, played against Nordic, and then I think got hurt a little bit against Paris, but they definitely didn't finish the year. So that one for me was it was close. Unfortunately, no score. Prague will have the most significant increase in wins from the 2024 season. This one is obviously true. Yes, we did. From 1-11 to 7-5, no one else had that comparison. Everyone else was around the same. Hell, to be fair, Ravens, they actually did pick up a much better season. I don't think they added 6 wins. No, but they were close. Like they did do real well. Actually, no, they got 2 more wins. Sorry, not 6. I was looking at 7-5. So it was an increase, but still just the one for Prague. AJ went and were leading tackles again. This was another one of those softball ones where you just kind of know it's going to happen. So that's another mark for me there. Easy. Serge versus Paris will have the highest combined scores for interconference duology. This one was definitely not true. Because we had a 6-0 game between these two teams. They combined for probably a couple points. I'm looking at the wrong one. Serge versus Paris. We got 6-0. And then we got a 26-8. So, solid games, but neither of them particularly high scoring. Madrid has the best total offense. That one was just, I believe, true. I've added myself one, but I'm pretty sure it's true, right? I'd be very surprised if it wasn't. Team totals. They had the most passing yards. We get total. Yeah, they did. To be fair, I'm pretty sure they did. I'm like 100% sure they did. They must have had, because they had 4,000 yards here, compared to Paris, who only had 2,200, and then you got 2,400 there. She had more. That's crazy. I have more there, and then 1,800. So like 6,000 compared to like 5,000. It was close, very close. But yeah, Madrid had the best total offense. That one was, again, something I foresaw that wasn't too much of a crazy comparison. Tell me why Yewell had the longest rush of the season. I'm not sure how trackable that is. But also, I don't remember Tomiwa having like a super long rush. It doesn't have a long. It has a money down, first down overall, but didn't have like that's kind of a shame. But I'm pretty sure it was not him. I know that's kind of like maybe a bit shit, but if we don't have the numbers, it's kind of hard to tell. But I'm pretty sure it won. I know who exactly did. I know Rodney has some really long ones. I know Hasselvanter has some long ones. But like Tommy wasn't actually active in some of the games, so I'm not going to give myself something for that. But maybe he was right, but I don't think I was. 2 ELF newcomer quarterbacks will be mid-season MVP favorites. This was kind of hard to track as well. But for quarterbacks, Reed was there. But then the next new quarterback in the mid-season would have been DJ Irons or Russell Tabor or Jalen Henderson. And I don't think any of those guys were ever in like MVP discussions. I think it was Jadrian, it was Aaron, it was Ben Holmes. Like it was not Ben Holmes at the start. Maybe not in the mid-season, but I don't think that any of those guys were kind of in that, personally. Devin Burrell will win his 3rd Special Teams Player of the Year. Yes, he did. That's 9. Nice and easy. He did do it. Don't need to go too much in depth on that one. The Vienna Vikings will have the longest winning streak of the season. That was not true. It was Nordic. Nordic had the longest winning streak because Nordic were the last team to be beaten. What week was it? It was against Rhine. No, it was against Galaxy, sorry. In week 11. They were 10-0? But yeah, that was the one. So nothing for me there. Cologne had the longest losing streak. I'm gonna give myself a tally for that, even though it's tied with Cologne and Helvetic. But I'm still gonna give myself a tally because they did technically have joint longest losing streak. Still, At least 3 40k games. That one was not true. That was me maybe being a bit too hopeful. But that one, yeah, not a great call, must admit. A game-winning Hail Mary will be in regular time, regular season. No, I really hoped. We had it all the way through the year on the streams where we hoped it would happen. But never quite did. And it had some opportunities, but never quite did. Both semi-finals will be one-score games. Now that is interesting. I know one of them definitely was. I don't think... No, so Surge versus Munich wasn't. I know Storm versus Vienna was, but... It was close, but still not quite. It was close though. Ben Holmes will win MVP. He did not. A quarterback will win Offensive Player of the Year. He did not. Kind of close. But Fettig will win DPOY. He did not. That was just a strain of unsuccessful ones. We have multiple European 1,000-yard receivers. This didn't happen. I don't think we had any. We had 4 in total, none of them European. Gaio got real close, but had like a slower season at the start and then picked up at the end. Tyler Foster, again, pretty close. Harlan, pretty close. But none. So still, only Spiller is the only person to ever do that. Toth will lead in receptions. No, it was Aaron Cruikshank by a mile. Mark Elcastle will play in 2025. He did not. Kind of a shame. Reese Wood leading touchdowns. No, also Ryan Cruikshank. Of course, he got the Triple Crown. Glenn Tonga will lead in rushing touchdowns. No, because he got hurt in the first couple of weeks. Unfortunate, but true. So out of the first 30, we've hit 10. 33% hit rate. It's alright. It's not too bad. 1 out of 3. Raiders will have the best total rushing in the league. No, it was Paris, as we saw earlier. Which, honestly, kind of surprising. I'm not going to lie. We go team totals. Like, they didn't have anyone in, like, the top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But then they had Kantar, who was there. They had Jalen, who had an amazing rushing season. Like, they had a great rushing year. Which, kind of surprised. You know, I thought they were going to be good, but I didn't think they were going to be that good. And then the Ravens were second, and Raiders were actually third. So that one's not true. Storm out the biggest comeback of the season. It's kind of a hard one to track, but they were never really losing. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it might have been Madrid. Or the guy. It was someone in the Madrid game, I know that, but it wasn't Nordic. Because again, they were never really losing. Vienna had the fewest sacks. It was not. That was also Madrid. We look at total sacks for a team. Oh no, sorry, it wasn't Madrid. My bad. It was Stuttgart. My fault. It was Stuttgart. I had Vienna, who of course were down here. They had 19 sacks. So honestly, not top 5 offensive line. It's kind of surprising. But here we are. They actually, Hamburg only allowed 22? That's kind of surprising. I am surprised that Hamburg had less sacks than Ryan Fire or Paris. That's kind of mad. I'm surprised by that. But Stuttgart had the best offensive line in terms of sack numbers and probably just one of the best offensive lines full stop. They were incredible. So we don't get a point for that. Cologne will not score a defensive touchdown all season. We're going to have to go into defense, turnovers, that's points. So, how are we going to do this? How are we going to do this? We've got defense, we can go game by game. We go game by game. We need to go to Cologne. So week 1. We need to see if they scored a defensive touchdown, or even if they scored at all, to be completely honest with you. So versus Berlin, because where would it be? It would just be on a play-by-play. That was a pass, Osborne. That was also a pass as well. So they didn't do it in week 1. Did not score a defensive touchdown in week 1. I'm kind of hoping they do, so I have to go through every single one of them. Can I just have every week? It'll be a lot easier. Cologne. Where are you? They didn't score in that week, so they don't even have the chance. I'm pretty sure they scored one against Galaxy. If I'm not mistaken, they might have scored against the Galaxy. It was a rush, field goal. That was Pinter scoring a touchdown. It says fumble. Okay. Doesn't actually... I don't think they... Oh, there we go. No, that was them having an interception. That was them recovering a fumble. Did they get an interception for a pick six? No. So maybe they didn't. I kind of thought they did in this one, but I might be wrong. Because I know they had a bit of a weird game in this one, but I don't know like they actually did score a defensive touchdown. So they do not get one against the Galaxy. Cologne, they only scored 3 there, so that one's not even going to be considered. They did go against the Surge, but I know that wasn't a defensive touchdown. Cologne, they didn't score against Paris. Only 2 against the Panthers. Was it the second game? It might have been the second game. Perhaps not. Maybe I'm just tripping, but... Oh, no, that was them getting picked up again. Not the easiest thing to read when it comes to it, but... I don't know if they... Oh, no, they did! No, they didn't. That's conceding. Fuck's sake. Because I know they conceded a few in this one with the punt returns. Okay, so maybe they didn't. We're still scrolling through, but it's looking like they didn't. Which I'm kind of surprised they... Well, they scored against Paris. It's kind of annoying. I got to scroll all the way through. It's just touchdown, punt, touchdown, punt, touchdown, punt. What's this? This is not a touchdown. Alright, so maybe they didn't, because it's even coming up with different things now. But I don't think they did. It doesn't look like they did from the box scores. I'll finish off the last couple, but I know they didn't against the Raiders. And they didn't have a chance against the Surge. Yeah, so I don't think they did. So I'm going to give myself one. They got a couple safeties, but they never got a touchdown, which is tough, I won't lie. Vikings will have 2 1,000-yard receivers and 1,000-yard rush, so they did not have either of those. Fertig will lead in interceptions. He did not lead in interceptions, but to be fair, to his credit, I don't think people were really throwing his way. But interception leader was Ken Hike and Lotoro. And there's a double check. And also Glenna. So that one's another L. Rodion will lead in pick sixes. I actually don't think he had any. So he didn't lead. We have a first-time all-star in the offensive line. We did with Hullub. Nice and easy. Surge will have a 50-point game. They had an 88-point game. So yes, they did. Kitchen was the lead in sacks again. Yes, he did. Mercenaries had the most squad turnover. Yes, they did. That one's not even in question because they did. Adrian Platzgummer would throw a touchdown. Yes, he did. Run a bit of a streak. Another NFL Academy alumni will break out. Seelig. So yes, we did. A team will win a game despite having 5 turnovers. This one I don't think is true. I think the closest we got to... I don't think a team had 5 turnovers very often, except maybe Helvetic and Cologne, and they didn't win. I think the most turnovers we had might have been Jadrian with 4, but they lost. So it doesn't count. Obviously, they didn't win. And I think that's it. I think every other team had like a bunch of turnovers, and then Hamburg as well had a moment like that, but I'm pretty positive that one's on now, which is a shame. A team will win a game without scoring an offensive touchdown. That definitely didn't happen. That one was maybe a little bit like, actually, wait. Did Paris do that? Maybe? Did they score an offensive touchdown? I think they did, though. That's 6-0. Was that an offensive touchdown? I think it is. Yeah, it was. It's Bertolon's. Yeah, fuck. That was like probably my only chance. I got close though. But no game was like low enough scoring to win only off of stuff like that. Because Prague got pretty close too against Enthroners. Yeah, there it is. Because they did score one, but it was very much a late. Because field goal, punt, then a touchdown at the end for Willie P. So yeah, we got close. We had 2 games where only 1 was scored, but we didn't get it. The Enthroners were the worst defense in the league for points allowed. That one was probably not true. With Helvetic and Cologne, probably them. We have defense. We need to go team stats, team totals. So total, we want touchdowns. Was it touchdowns allowed? Did I say touchdowns allowed? Points allowed, yeah. So Enthroners 36, Cologne had 12 advantage on passing, and then doesn't actually say on rushing, which is fun. Oh, here we go. No, it's still receiving. Okay, so it doesn't actually say anything there, but we can assume through passing. I don't have any other option, so we're gonna have to say yes. It was Cologne, so no point for me on that one. Berlin will go winless in their division. I think they did. They didn't beat Rhein. They didn't beat Nordic. Did they beat Hamburg? I don't think they did. Hamburg. No, they lost then. And then he lost on the last one too. It was a close one, but they did indeed, in fact, go winless within their division. That one was I think that was a good call. I'm not going to lie. I think some people were a little bit more hot on Berlin. I wasn't like a guy that was too hot on them, but I feel like they got it. Okay. Tabor have 20 plus touchdowns. He definitely did. He got 20 plus, 100%. Stando. We want to go stats. Player leaders. I mean, shit, where was he at? Need their totals. I'm pretty sure 27. So yeah, another one. We good. We're actually we're kind of flying through them. Cologne have the worst passing offense in the league. They did. They definitely did. We go offense, passing. Actually, we got Yard. Oh, wait. No, it was Helvetic. That's so close, though. Oh, that was close, though. I said Cologne. I got beaten by less than 100 yards. That was really fucking close. I'm actually quite happy that I got close to that. Well, not happy, but you know, I'm all right that I got close to that. McKay, comeback player of the year, no. Surge have the best record, not win a division. No, they won the division, so don't even matter. LaRose breakout in 2025. Now, football didn't like the ambiguity of those kind of statements of like breakout and stuff like that. What I meant was like career year. So if we look at LaRose, did LaRose, actually need to go team, so because you can't actually click on that. Did LaRose have a career year? Then yes. I'll count as a breakout, because then it's just a statistically trackable thing rather than just vibes, you know? But he did not. He actually had a bad year, I can't lie. If those stats are to be believed, because I know sometimes the stats are a little bit dodgy. But I don't think he had a career year, just based off of like memory-wise. I don't think he did too much, which is kind of a shame. I actually really had high hopes for LaRose this year. This will be the best class of ELF debuting quarterbacks in ELF history. I absolutely think that's true. We look at the total stats for all of the quarterbacks. We got the MVP with Reed. You scroll down, you see DJ, first quarterback to hit 1,000 yards. Our dispute aside, Tabor was awesome all year. Jalen had a great year. I know some people were a little bit disappointed he wasn't higher up the MVP vote, but he had a solid year. Wang was great as well. Like, I think it was the best debut in class we've seen. I'm going to give myself a point for that. I know that's kind of subjective, but I think it's true. 3 of the top 5 receivers in yards will be new to the league. Now, that one is interesting. 1, 2, no. How many did I say? Did I say 3? Close. 3 of the top 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 2 with Cruikshank and Polio, but Cole played last year and was the comeback player of the year this year. Del Stewart and Malik Stanley are obviously vets. Kind of a shame, but close. Kitchens will lead in forced turnovers. I don't think he did. Or forced fumbles, I put. So Aaron and Lucky, the 2 guys that did. So that one's another L. Damn, I'm taking a few L's. I can't lie. I'm not doing too hot on this one so far. Like, I've got a few. Oh, what's up, Ricardo? My bad. I didn't see that. It's actually not coming up on chat, which is so fun for me. It's coming up like on at the bottom down here, but then that's from the last one. It's just not updated, but it's cool. Most people are going to watch this on the real live anyway. That's where I expect most of the views will be after the fact, because it's a weekend, you know. Okay, so we got the Kitchens leading forced fumbles. He did not. Was he a 5-sack performance? We didn't. We got really bloody close in the championship game. I think Lackamore was credited with like 4.5 by some people. The championship game, I think he was credited on the ELF stats as like 3. It looked a lot more than 3. Yeah, it's credited with 3. I don't think it was 3. I think it was 4. Or maybe like 4.5. And then Aaron against Prague, I believe, got 4. So week 8, no, week 9, might be week 9. Because we won against them, but it was really, really, really close. It might have been a bit earlier. But I'm pretty sure he was credited with 4. I think it was this one. Yeah, 4. So close. We got 4-sack performance. We didn't get anything more than a 4 sacks performance. So we got 4.5 and a 4. I got close, man. I got close, but nothing quite. Edwin Almeida Taporta will lead in European debutants. I don't think he did. He had a good year, but like I expected a little bit more production from him. But European debutants was easily Foster. It's not even close. But I still think Edwin's a fantastic receiver. I expect him to have a very successful career. Boo and Cofield, one of the best European duos. They didn't finish on the same fucking team, so absolutely not. It just didn't finish on the same team. 5 players have 10 sacks or more. No, I think 1 did. That was kind of an out. I think what I accounted for, right, and this sounds controversial, but I think it's true. I knew the offensive lines had got a lot better, but I didn't attribute for like defensive lines not getting as good. And we got some great defensive line players, but like offensive lines this year were fantastic. We only had 1 player go over 10. So that's kind of crazy. I need to pick up some points. This is not the one to do so. Keelan Cole will break the single game receiver records. He didn't even get close to a single game receiver record. I don't think he even got close barely to some receptions. He was not good. I really wanted Cole to be good. But Keelan Cole finished with 171 yards. If you combine all of his yards for his ELF career, he doesn't get the record. I don't even think he would for catches. So, like, that was tough. I really expected him to be good, but it wasn't. Munico scored the most safeties. Again, that's kind of hard to track, but, like, no. Because I think it was weirdly Cologne. But I don't think there's any way of actually tracking that. But I'm pretty sure Cologne did because they got, like, multiple 2-point games. So I'm not going to give myself credit for that, but that was hard on the track. Panthers will start the season slow. They didn't. I don't think they did. Because they had an easier schedule at the start and a harder one at the back end. Start slow is also kind of, subjective. They went 1-0, 1-1, 1-2, 2-2, 2-3, 3-3. That was like the midway. 3-3 for them. I don't think that's starting slow. Like, I think that's kind of normal for them, to be honest. Like, they're kind of 7-5 kind of team. So I don't think they've started slow. Yannick Meyer won Homegrown of the Year. He did not. Had a great year, but didn't. John Shoup will win Coach of the Year. He did not. We got very close. He was nominated, but not quite. Flores Calderon had a big step up. Again, we have to go career year here. Spoiler alert, I don't think he did, because he was very good this season, but like Madrid is just so stacked with talent. Where is he at? Did he have a career year? No, he did not. He had the lowest in terms of yards. He had more touchdowns. Okay. How did I word it? Because that's kind of important. Flores Calderon will take a big step up. I said big, so I feel like big means like most yards, most touchdowns, which he didn't. But he did look better. He only had 200 less yards, but he had 20% more catch rate and more touchdowns. I'm not gonna give it to myself. I think big shows that he should have had like a triple crown of improvement, which he didn't, because he didn't have as many receptions, he didn't have the yards, but he did get the touchdowns. So I'm not gonna give myself to it, but like close. Jakob Snutny will be an all-star. Man, this one is another one of them I wish I could give myself. Jakob Snutny, in my opinion, should have been an all-star. He was fantastic, but he was not voted as an all-star. So it's kind of tough. Yeah. Nordic got the best passing defense. This is not true, as far as I'm aware. It's another one of those ones where they had a great passing defense. I just don't think it was the best. Yeah, exactly. So Paris had the best passing defense, followed weirdly by Helvetic. Okay. I guess he just ran on them. Yeah. But technically, Helvetic had the second best passing defense, which is kind of insane. But Nordic had a fourth. Very, very good, but not quite the best. The Raiders have 2 players rush for 150 yards in the same game. That did not happen. We got kind of like unfortunate with them having so many injuries, but it didn't happen. The Galaxy are the top 5 offense, but bottom 5 defense. Now that is interesting. We go strictly by passing touchdowns, 30, and undisclosed. Actually, can't we just look at total offense and defense? Did we do that a second ago? That'd be really helpful. I don't know if we're going to be able to, but like we'll go off of these. So they had 24 passing touchdowns. It's not top 5 though, is it? Like, let's be honest, it's not top 5 in anything. So maybe, except for yards. So I don't think they can be considered a top 5 line. Shit, they changed quarterbacks halfway through the year, so I don't think they had that. Aaron, this is one of my best ones. Aaron Gross-Kleinman will have a career year. He was a fucking all-star. So I think it's fair to say he had a career year. What's up, Aiden? Good to see you, brother. So my chat's like only working on this, not actually on the actual stream, which is really, really annoying. But this one, number 70, definitely my best one. I know I've had a major losing streak. Fuck, I'm on a losing streak. So that was important, that he had a career year. I'm happy with that. Lenny Craig believed in kicker points, didn't even play. Ryan Rimler will lead in PATs. That didn't happen either, man. We kind of took some L's over this course of this, because I said what points are PAT percentage, which would be here. So I said minimum of 20 kicks, I believe I said. So attempted, it was Shom, Laura, and then Hubron. So no, he did not. Rimler did not lead in kicking PATs. 2 players will have 1,000 yards returning. I put punt plus kick. I think that's probably true. Oh, yeah. Easy. So that's another one. Thank Christ for that. I needed that. I needed that. Oh, man, yes. This is true. I feel like I know ball, but then I'm looking at like, I'm like 70 in. I've only got 20 of them. But like, it's tough, you know. Someone have 10 fumbles. I think DJ did. Oh, Luca had 13. Chad Jeffries had 10. DJ got 8. My bad. But yeah, someone had 10 fumbles. So bop another one into that. Needed that. Yannick Mile had the longest receiving touchdown. This one is hard to track as well. Kind of like the runs. Oh, man. See, it depends on how many people praise my ball knowing ability. Then it changes, you know. Oh, there we go. We got long. Oh, did I get it right? Oh, that might be my best. That might be better than Grossman Klein. That might be my best. That might be my best one. I'm counting that. I don't give a fuck if it's tied. I'm counting that. Yannick Meyer will have the longest receiving touchdown. He fucking 92 yards. That's a great thing. That was good. That might be one of my best ones. Torres Spiller comparison will continue. No, because Spiller was out halfway through the year. That's unfortunate. 2 Europeans make all-star defensive back. I do not believe they did. I don't think any did. Did any Europeans make defensive back? No. Oh. Alexander, see, Lotoro's there. Lotoro's Argentine. I did put Europeans. I'm not going to give it to myself. I thought about it because like he's an E player, but Lotoro is Argentine. So I'm not going to give myself that. But again, it's another one of those ones where like it's close. Like I nearly had it. Okay, at least 3 first-time All-Stars. Absolutely. Lotoro was a first-time All-Star. Actually, let's just start from the start. So, like, French is an E. See, I see it, but he's Argentine. I put Europeans. If I put E allocated, I give it to myself. But he wasn't. Right, Reed's a first-time All-Star. Aaron Cruikshank's a first-time All-Star. So honestly, that one was a bit of a layup. And we need 3. Lucas Hullop was also a first-time All-Star. So that one's nice and easy. I got that one. That one was kind of a layup. A player will score a rushing, receiving, and passing touchdown in the same game. No, we didn't. We had rushing, we had receiving, we had returning. We didn't have a passing. We nearly had it with Platt Scummer, and we also nearly had it with Willie P. Close. 3 quarterbacks will have a 100-yard rushing game. That's a good one. I like that one. Okay, so we got to look into 3 players. We got to look 3 separate ones. So immediately we're going to go to DJ and see if DJ ever had a 100-yard rushing game, which I think he did. But oh man, is it not going to come up? Fuck. That's kind of frustrating. Is it not going to come up with quarterback rushing numbers? Do they have it on the Alefopedia? Please have it. Rushing. Playoff rushing numbers, regular season rushing. Okay. Does it have... I don't think it's going to have all time, is it? Man. Fuck. Okay. I don't know. I'm not sure I'm going to do this. Because I need to look at individual... Maybe I'll look at box scores. I'm going to look at every single box score. We can do that. It won't take too long. Right, did DJ get 100 yards? No, on that first one. I think, we're going to have to do it like this. And hope that DJ gets one nice and early. Alright, there we go. Right, 100 yards. There's one. Yeah, that would be... Yeah, man, I really was. So, DJ did get a 100-yard game. So that's one of them. I said how many? 3? I said 3 quarterbacks get 100-yard rushing games. Alright, my next person I want to look for is Henderson. Because I think if anyone had one, it would be Henderson as well. And then I'm going to look at Tabor. But Henderson, I'm like pretty sure. No, I don't want to go into that bit. I want to go into schedule. There we go. What game did he run in a lot? I feel like he ran a lot in like the Vikings game. Maybe I'll look at that one. Because, 97. Then he on first try as well in that game. He ran a lot versus the Vikings. So let me see if he got that. I'm pretty sure he did. No, he didn't. He got 75. He's Helvetic. No, he did not against Helvetic. About the first Vikings game. Henderson, 133. So that's 2. Hello, Amelia. Oh my God, he's going to be nervous. Man, San Severam. Tabor did. So Javarian also... Yeah, see, that's what I'm thinking as well. You got like short rushes and sneaks. But Javarian got 2. Let's take a Tabor. I think Tabor is probably the most likely at some of these other guys. He had a big one his first one. No, he didn't. I lied. But he also got a lot of sneaks. Yeah, he did. That's a good point. Let me see a couple of these. I remember he had like a few big ones. And I kind of want to also like cross-check some of the other guys, you know. If I look on these Helvetic games, then there might be a guy that gets it. Oh, Norwood. Norwood was a quarterback. Norwood was a quarterback. Yep. And bingo. So that one's correct. So Norwood, Irons, Henderson. All 3 of those quarterbacks had 100-yard games. So that one was correct. That one was a risk, but that one worked out well. An overtime playoff game will happen. It did not. Wait, did it? I don't think it did. No. It was close. We got close here. We got close kind of here, not really. Like, no, but we didn't have an overtime. That's kind of unfortunate. I would like that. But that one was reasonable. A wide receiver have a 1,500-yard season. This was... He had 1,500 yards, didn't he? He definitely did. Sometimes I forget. But I'm pretty sure he did. Oh man, I've gone the wrong thing. I'm flummoxed. Player totals. But he definitely had 50. Yeah, he had 1,700 yards. So yes, we did have a 1,500-yard season. We did indeed. Okay, someone not named Kitchen had 15 sacks. No. A 55-yard kick will be made by 2 kickers. This one, I think, actually has a chance. Because I know that Rimler made one. So 50 plus. Where would that be? It'd be on player totals for kicking. So 50 plus. We had Tasic. Did Rimler not make? Yeah, Rimler made 2. So yes, we did. We had... Oh, it's 55 yards? Fuck, I put 55 yards. PAT made... Fuck. Yeah, they were alright. So that Tasic one, I think that was like on the dot 50. Why did I put 55? I think ELFopedia has something on kicking, if I'm not mistaken. Like, it would be the longest. Okay. Field goal long. We had a 57. No, that's all. That's not right. That's not for what I need. Yeah, rim ladder 57, and Tastic had a 50. So technically 250 plus, but only 155 plus. I don't know why I put 55. That was stupid of me. I should have just put 50. Me putting 55 was a bad idea. Can I refresh this? Oh, okay, there we go. I think now that chat should actually work if someone typed. There we go. Fucking hell. That was annoying the fuck out of me. Okay. Because I kept looking at it and I was like, I had to keep looking at my phone. Okay, cool. We're good. A callback brought in mid-season will have a solid year. Yes, we had Mr. Wang. Mr. Wang had a solid year, so I'm going to give myself that because he was good. Brought in mid-season. Was kind of a revelation for them, to be fair. I have not done as well as I thought. If I can hit 30%, I'll be fine. A new receiver out of 200-yard game. Yep, I even look at that. I did a whole video on Aaron Cruikshank about him doing that. Easy. A tight end will finish with double-digit touchdowns for the first time in ELF history. That also happened with Adria, who had 16. So yes, pretty comfortably. 30% so far. Like, it's not bad. Okay. Now, this one's a little bit vague. I'm hotspotting. I tried streaming it earlier. I'm on like a temporary box, and the box is like, it's fine for like whatever, but it's not very good for streaming, we found out. Someone will find an elite player who was on no one's preseason draft boards. Now, that is kind of vague, I admit. Because, like, alright, let me have a look. So, did we have like a great season for someone who I had no idea about beforehand, or like wasn't even on my boards? Knew all of these guys and like watched all of these. I mean, not really. If I'm gonna be honest, I don't think we had any guys that were like, oh my god, I really didn't expect them to be as good as they were. At least not in a statistical category. I guess maybe, I don't know how many boards Hinder was on. Yeah, fucking real. So that's kind of a tough one. I worded that poorly, I will admit. Because I put someone, not like a team, will find an elite player who's on no one's preseason draft boards. That one is admittedly vague. Because I was hyping him up in the very same thing, but I would have put him in then. Maybe you could say Dex. Yeah, I guess maybe you could say Dex. He was very good. I wasn't as high on him in the preseason, but like, so I want to find elite players on non-draft boards. Like, they didn't lead any. I don't think we had any guys leading. You know what? I might give it to Villatoro because, like, oh, Osborne for Cologne, that's solid, but like, people knew about him from the GFL. I'm gonna give it to myself anyway. Maybe for Lotoro because like I don't think anyone thought Lotoro was like a DPOY kind of player. I definitely didn't think Lotoro was a DPOY, and he fucking balled the fuck out. But Osborne, I could also reasonably give. A receiver will have 15 catches in a game. This is gonna be an Aaron Cruikshank study. Let's see if Aaron Cruikshank ever did that. He's the guy for this. 15's a lot though. It'd be him or Cole. 12, 13, 13. So he got close, but then Cole will be the other guy that could have had 15. I think he might have had around that. Definitely one or two times. Where's Mr. John Cole? There he is. 13, 15. There we go. 15 versus the Bravos. Give me that. A receiver had 15 catches in a game. He did. A team will lose because they missed an extra point. They did. Yeah, we had Madrid versus Raiders. 2 point. I'm counting 2 points. Should I count 2 points? Do I count 2 points? Because they technically did, I think. Which week was it? The week 3. I know it was early. Was it early? Was it early? Was it later? I might give myself it. I ain't gonna lie. I might be that guy. I've been pretty lenient. Oh no! Yeah, they lost. Yeah, but fucking yeah, that's one right. Yeah, easy. There you go. Bang. First week of the fucking season it happened. Yeah. A team will lose because they missed an extra point. Yes. Literally first week of the season. I don't know why I didn't even think of that one. Nordic they do as well? I'm not sure, but that one was a guarantee. That one's a yes. Nordic also, they were also weird, but I didn't even need to like adjust that one slightly because I know because Hamburg did. Wait, no, did Hamburg? Because they missed a field goal. Because they had 2 touchdowns, and I'm pretty positive they did. They missed the PAT. I'm like, oh, but also Nordic, yeah. Like I'm giving myself it because I'm pretty like positive that was happening. One of the preseason favorites will lose 3 games in a row. My preseason favorites, I believe, was like Vienna. Definitely didn't lose 3 games in a row. Neither did Munich. Did Bravos ever lose 3 games in a row? That would be the only team that I could see, maybe, as a team that could have had, but I don't think they did. They won that. They lost that one. They won that one. They won. They lost there. They won. They lost. They won. They won. They won. They lost. They won. They lost. So they never lost 3 in a row. And to be honest, I think that's the only team that... Oh, Paris. But Paris, I don't think lost 3 times in a row either. They got kind of... Maybe they did. Because they had a brutal schedule. Won, and then they won. Lost, and they won, and they won. And they won, and they won, and they lost, and then they won. Lost. Ah, that was close. 2. Okay, so they didn't lose 3 in a row. They lost 2 in a row, but never 3. Close. Yeah, but they lost 2, not 3. That's the closeness they got again. The quarterback would throw 5 interceptions in a single game. Oh man, I don't think they did. Did they though? We gotta look into some Cologne games. Well, maybe Helvetic. I don't think Helvetic really threw the ball that much. 5-1, but see, I need to go into the actual games and the box score as opposed to the player stats because it's not going to be in the player stats. What we need is that like surge game. Oh no, because he threw. I want to say Talia threw 4, not 5. Random, yeah, no, that was kind of brutal for me, kind of rough. Because we had 4 a couple of times. I don't know if we have 5. We had 3 there. Did I say a team or say a player? A QB would throw 5 interceptions in single games. Yeah, it needs to be a single individual. I'm trying to like go to that cert. There it is. Only 2. That was kind of a surprise. I know they fumbled it a few times as well, though. That's the problem with them. Maybe I need to go to Cologne. I think Cologne is the way. But they kind of had overlap. That's the bad thing, is they had a lot of overlap between those teams. Who was like... Yeah, because Jay had 4. And then Talia, I think, had 4 too. Didn't know, because he didn't throw the ball that much. I guess Talia got fucked up. Oh, he only threw 1 pick. He got pulled at half. He only got 1 pick. He nearly threw like 4. That was what I was thinking of. I don't think they did. Helvetic, I think, kind of abandoned it a little bit towards the end. I don't think we had any 5 interceptions. We definitely had a few 4s. I don't think we had any 5s, which is tough. We got close again. We got close a few times, man. I don't think teams threw it enough to hit 5. Yeah, I don't think I can give it to myself. Okay. The MVP of the final will not be a quarterback. That one's right. We'll see Mr. Lewis Geyer with the MVP in the championship game. I'm happy with that one. The championship game will have at least 60 points scored. No. It did not, because it was a close affair. Not 60. 24-17 does not make 60. A defense will have 6 takeaways in a single game. We're going back to the Cologne board. Against Paris, I know they got a lot. But that was like fumbles and stuff like that. And that's not necessarily picks. Again, that one's kind of hard to track. There's 3 interceptions right there. But it doesn't come up with like fumbles, you know? Or does it maybe come up with this? Turnovers? Okay, 3 okay, it does come up with that. So we got 3 turnovers there. They play Cologne and Helvetic. That's actually so cruel. 1 turnover. That's kind of mad. How many did I say? 6. 6 plus takeaways. I think we might struggle to find 6. I ain't gonna lie. 6 is a lot. Even against the very worst teams, 6 is a lot. Only 1? I'm really surprised I only had 1 on some of these. Have I just clicked the game like the same game a few times in a row? No, I haven't. Let's go through all the Helvetic games, especially the latter half, and just see if they had 6 turnovers. There's only 2, because that's such a hard amount. Because I know Prague did well against them, but I don't think they got 6. That's 5. 5 is close. Did they throw 5 picks? 3 picks. 3 picks between 3 quarterbacks. I nearly had that one. Because it's going to have to be someone that scored a fair amount. There's only 2. So surprised that was only 2. That was a weird game, man. That one. That one didn't ever actually happen. Against Munich, I don't think they did. Because Munich, I don't think got a ton of takeaways this year. I would have liked to have seen, yeah. That's what I was about to say. I would have liked to have seen both of those teams play. I don't think it would have been a very good match, but like, I am kind of interested who would have won. I would have put my money on Helvetic. But it's not, it's not easy, is it? Because they were immediately bad. Right, there's 4. The record is still 5. Against the Galaxy, I know they gave up a couple. Only 3 though. Surely that was 5. 2. Only 2 in that game. That's kind of mad. Panthers, only 2. Yeah, I don't know if they did, Never 6 plus. They had 5. But I don't think it is. I just want to see football play, man. That's the only thing I care about. That's what I do with my time, is watch football. I'd be a damn shame if there wasn't any. So that's my main priority. It's just football in Europe. I think that's what most people want. We'll see if it comes together. I hope so. For the sake of many people, Right, it doesn't look like they got 5 or 6. Sorry, 50k plus in the final. No, we had 36 plus still. Nico Bauer 1,000 yards. No. A safety will have 100 tackles. Yes. Bork. Willie B would have 100. Would have 1,000 yards. See now. I think I'm gonna give myself this because total yardage. He did. Willie P? Where's Willie P? That's career, all-purpose yard. There we go. Willie P had 1,700. I'm not going to count his return, right? He still has over 1,300, so I'm going to give myself that generous one, but I said 1,000 yards and say 1,000 receiving yards. I know it's a little bit shady, but still. And the Vienna Vikings will win the ELF Championship 42-35, which was not true. So I went overall 36 out of 100. I'm quite happy with that. I'm not going to lie. To hit 36, let me go NBA. Let me have a look. Where would we be at this year? For our 3-point percentage. Because we're hitting from deep, we were hitting from fucking preseason, so 3-point percentage. Can I filter by like minimum shots? Minimum shots, please. No, there is no minimum shots. Oh man, can I not look at minimum shots? What was the website I used for my master's stuff? Crafted. I used this website as a reference for my master's. This one's so good. Bork back to the Lions, that'll be interesting. Hike, Embry, Bork, Fancher. I've spent another E though. Where'd you lose that E, You don't want to lose Kingdom. Those things in bad and some of those were quite out there. They were. I think I'm very, honestly, I know some people probably would think 36 ain't very good. I'm fucking happy with that. Player stats, that's what I want. Yeah, that's one of my references for my part of my master stuff. 3-point percentage. So I hit 36? Yeah, 36. So I would have been kind of far down, of course, but like I'm trying to like compare myself. I'm 36 in a dot. So I'm like Moritz Wagner, Monte Morris, Dean Wade. That's kind of who I am. I'm going to put that on my story. Wagner's probably the best player out of those. So I'm like basically the Moritz Wagner of VLF takes when it comes from shooting deep. Take of that as you will. But like I'm actually pretty gassed that I was able to hit 36 out of 100. Like a lot of people never would put 100 out there. You know what I'm saying? But like I did, and I'm very happy with that, especially considering the rogueness. I think I got to do biggest hits and biggest misses. I'm going to do that as a post, probably straight after the stream. My biggest hit, Meyer longest touchdown. I'll do 3 biggest hit, 3 biggest misses. Meyer longest touchdown. Aaron Grossman as a step-up year. And then probably... What was another one I had that was really good? Probably Adrian Platzgummer to throw a touchdown. That one was pretty strong. That one was solid. Or maybe, yeah, I think that's probably the best one. The European one's still close, but like, oh man, I'm gonna hope next season. I really hope I can do this again. This was like really really fun to do and like make a new receiver out of 200-yard game. That one was actually thought of Keaton Cole. That wasn't true. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna say my best one was 15 catches. So we got 15 catches. Yannick Meyer longest touchdown, and Aaron Gross Kleinman as like a breakout year. That's my 3 best. My 3 worst. Keelan Cole does a very good single game receiver record. No. Probably Surge not winning the division. But that wasn't like a horrible take. Paris are a really good team. I wouldn't say that was like a bad take, I could say 3. I could say 3 40K games. That kind of looks bad. Oh, Surge Paris high combined scores for a duology. I'll go for that one. And then probably the Vienna one, where it's like three, Vienna, 2 1,000 yard receivers and 1,000 yard rush. They got none of them. So I think that'll probably be my worst one. My worst three, my best three. But dead ass, I'm happy with that. Anyways, series idea for you. All-time ELF starts all-time. Oh, man. See, I want to like avoid stuff like comparing them. Because honestly, for me, I just want a job. Whoever is with, you know? That's one thing I got to remember is I just need to keep a job. So I haven't like put anything wild. Oh, Switzerland put bold predictions. Surge will finally win the ELF. Okay, so shout out Surge, you know. Shout out Pro Football Switzerland, right? They're 1-1. ELF announced a new franchise from a country no one expected. The Gold Coast Buccaneers from Bulgaria. They didn't quite get that. Dale Stewart wins Triple Crown. No, but he did well. And then Offensive Rookie of the Year for Lennox. No. Hamburg and Frankfurt Banner playoffs. No. So they actually did pretty bad, except for the first one. They went 1 for 5. I'm shooting about 20%. I shot 36%. So I'm happy with that. See, I think I'm good. I don't think I had a crazy amount. I actually did have hell yeah 24. Okay. 2410. Have you ever have a 2410? Let me look. I want to look really quickly if I had 2410, and then I'm gonna say that was an official prediction. 2410. Actually, I could just go on Encyclopedias, go on Scoregami, and then see if we got 2410. Oh, we didn't. That's kind of mad, you know. We've never had anything 24 to like anything. That's kind of strange, right? All right. Well, Moritz Wagner out, brothers. I'm gonna go and just keep watching some Lewis Garrett tape. So these emails I'm gonna take you otherwise with that. I appreciate that. We'll see. I think some people maybe will. I haven't had any contract offers yet, which is a shame. I was hoping to have, but you know, we'll see what it brings. I got some meetings maybe at the end of the month, which should be good, about stuff. And then I'm watching Gyro tape as we speak. I've literally made the thumbnail. You guys can see that on my story at the moment. So thumbnail's done. I'm literally in the tape now, and that should be good. But one quick hour and a bit stream. We found out how good I am at shooting from deep. And I'll see you guys. I'm gonna continue trying to like stream a little. I'm currently 203rd. That's not too good. Yeah, I'm gonna keep trying to stream, especially for like the international games. I know that like NFL Academy are playing right now. I'm pretty sure. So I'm gonna like quickly see how they're doing, and then I'll go. I'm not gonna watch the whole game on stream. But they're playing Panther, and it should be quite an easy game for them. 28-3. Yeah, that's fine. All right. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you. Appreciate it. In a bit.